Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we are looking at the Corellian Support Frigate. The Corellian Support Frigate is one of the precursors, to the immensely popular CR-90 Corvette. In other words, the blockade runner that we see in Episode 4. Um, Introduced in the Clone Wars, or before the Clone Wars, this ship proved to be very valuable to the Galactic Republic. It boasts a very similar style to the CR-90, but with a larger Ithorian head, bow to the four-engine configuration with larger engines rather than the many small ones that the other ship has. The Corellian support frigate was designed to provide cover and backup to larger ships during combat, but its easily adaptable design lends itself to other functions. For a capital ship, it is relatively small and can slip in and out of dangerous systems with less difficulty than other starships. It can function as a scout ship, a troop support, perform diplomatic and consular missions, provide close support, or even reinforce the picket line if so needed. In some rare cases, these ships were retrofitted with medical equipment and served as emergency medical support for injured troops. They carry a single low-power tractor beam to help with starfighter recovery and other miscellaneous missions, but many were refitted, as in particular cases dictates. The main advantage of this ship is its versatility, which the Republic put to good use during the Clone Wars. So as we look at the ship, for like the D6 stats and whatever else anybody might grab this for, we are looking at a ship that is about 185 meters long, has a crew of between 40 and 180, depending on how it's configured. We have about a need for 13 different gunners. Um, for passengers, depending on how it's configured, we can cram about 600 troops in there. Cargo capacity, we have enough room for 2,300 metric tons. Consumables is enough for about a year. Cost, so this is one of the few ships we start seeing a cost here. It's not really assigned to a certain faction or anything where it's unavailable for others. So in this case, we do have a cost of 1.3 million credits, brand new. It only has a hyperdrive at times two, so it's really not meant to be the fast go-getter ship. So it's a little less than standard. Um, I know I've said it before, because hyperdrive has been used for so very long in the Star Wars universe. Most ships or vessels you find are really going to use a times one. But here we actually have a slower ship um, in that regard. It does have a navigation computer. One thing you do notice is there is a lack of a backup hyperdrive. So if this thing goes down, you are now stuck and waiting for someone else to come rescue you. Space, we have a rating of 5, and there is no atmosphere relation here. So, really, again, a lot of the times when we see these big capital ships, um, they're not really meant to go in an atmosphere outside of, they're just landing. So, really, it's just kind of a slow meandering down to a surface. Um, Pretty much anything. I mean, it's not like you're going to be flying through the atmosphere typically. Um, I mean, you could make atmosphere planetary fall or whatever, or you could fly through the atmosphere, but typically you're just kind of going at a snail's pace. Shield wise, we only have a 2D for shields. This is an older ship. Um, Now, depending on how people configure it, whether it's being used for the Republic or later the Empire or the Rebel Alliance, however you see it, um, in that regard, it could maybe get bumped up because maybe they need it for more of a combat situation, or maybe it's just left alone because it's just as a cargo support or maybe just as a back medical frigate. Sensors, we have a pretty good sensor packet. So passively, we can scan out to 4 kilometers. Just an active scan, we can go out to about 7 kilometers. If we're doing a broad search, we can go out to 10 kilometers. And if it's just a narrow focus beam, we can go about 400 meters. We do have 6 turbo laser cannons. Now, these are fire linked by pairs. So that means that we have 3 batteries, or no, these are 6 batteries here. So we have 4 in the front and 2 in the back. So looking at our picture, actually, it would be only 3 batteries here. So we have 1 on the top turret in the back, and we have 2 on 2 groups of 2 on the side turrets on the front head mount of the ship. And we have a fire control of 2D plus 1, so it's just a little bit above average as far as that goes for trying to um, kind of target and that for a target computer target assisted. Um, and in damage wise, these are not real big hole punchers. These are capital scale, so keep that in mind. They're doing 4D damage, so they're on par for an average. It's not a big combat vessel, but like it was stated, this is a very good multi-role vessel. It can kind of defend itself somewhat. Um, it can be re-outfitted for some heavier cannons, or maybe this is just enough because it's doing more medical or whatever else. Tractor beams. Let's see. We do have 1 tractor beam on a turret. It has a fire control of 2D plus 2 for helping to try and recover vessels. And it has a damage of 4D. So if you're trying to actively grab something and pull it in, it has a little bit, it's kind of on par for standard. Um, and we just kind of go from there. So really, that's what we have for this ship. It is an interesting design. It is an older ship again. Um, I'm trying to kind of start off with hitting a lot of the ships that are not as common. So that's really where I'm going. It is a very nice design, a very beautiful looking design. Has that classic Corellian look to it with how the engine block kind of wanes off there from the central core of the ship. It does have that kind of wide head look to it. And I'm going to guess that the top here is our uh, I want to say cockpit, but uh, yeah, our bridge command center. So um, it still has a very Ralph Corellian design to it. I don't know who did the initial drawing for it, and it very well could have been a Ralph Corellian uh, drawing for what became the standard Corellian Corvette that we see in episode 4. So, with that, hope you're enjoying the series. I'm enjoying bringing this to you, and we'll see you in the next video.